right, we're back. I was trying to figure out how to get this Dunkin' Donuts. That's not Dunkin' Donuts, actually. That's Dairy Queen. I was trying to figure out how to get the Dairy Queen ad off screen, but I couldn't figure it out. So we're just gonna ignore the Dairy Queen thing back there. But as you can see, I've only played 10 Zelda games now with Twilight Princess in there. So I'm gonna go through real quick now that we've finished Twilight Princess and rank all of the games I've played. Also, I'm gonna need chat to call an audible. Do we want to count Cadence of Hyrule? Because it's not a mainline Zelda game. It's a spin-off. But it's not a mainline Zelda game, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll come back to that. Tears of the Kingdom. We're starting off hot here. I'm gonna give Tears of the Kingdom an A, even though it's my favorite Zelda game. And then I gotta give Breath of the Wild S. Oh, but that's so hard because this is they're basically they're virtually the same game. So yeah, in my mind, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are virtually the same game. Even though Tears of the Kingdom did add like all of this above ground or like up in the sky exploration, and then all the stuff in the depths and the caves and like all of this. But it's so hard to not give Breath of the Wild also S tier because everything good that Tears of the Kingdom has was built off of the good things from Breath of the Wild. Now, there are things I don't think are perfect. I think the dungeons for both games could have been better. Tears of the Kingdom was a step in the right direction in terms of the dungeons because they were those more like linear themed dungeons instead of just being like 4 divine beasts that are all vaguely copy paste the same. So there's a lot to go in that regard. I wish we had those more unique dungeon items, like Twilight Princess had, where you have the Beyblade spinny wheel. Now, granted, after the item specific dungeon it's in, you don't use it a lot. So I think that is one thing that Tears of the Kingdom did, is at least the abilities you got that replaced those dungeon-specific items, you could use them a lot more frequently throughout playing the game, instead of just being like, well, I have this funny Beyblade spinner from Twilight Princess, I'm going to use it for this dungeon, and then a couple times here and there, and then bada bing, bada boom, we're done. So there's that. But aside from that, I think these games are both really solid. I love the story, even though it's limited and done through memories. I just think it's great. Great games. Skyward Sword, specifically Skyward Sword HD, but virtually also the same game, because all they did was fix the controls and put it in HD. Okay, hot take, guys. I think Skyward Sword is the best Zelda game ever. Like, it's not... Okay, hold on. Actually, no, I am going to put it at top of S tier. Because even though I personally enjoy Tears of the Kingdom a lot more, just because I appeal to that open world gameplay style where I can do all that stuff, what I love about Skyward Sword, story, 10 out of 10. On point. What a banger story. So good. The dungeons, phenomenal, dude. The items, 10 out of 10, bro. And the whole, like, you can explore the sky with your Loftwing and go and do all these different side quests, and then there's a ton of stuff to do on the ground. Like, essentially, the pre-Tears of the Kingdom, like, it's just such a good game. And I don't know, man. It holds a special place in my heart, because it is also one of the games where Zelda is canon, I will argue, because that is kind of Link's whole motivation in that game is I'm going to go save Zelda. I'm going to go save my friend Zelda. So there's that. And If you haven't played, I'm so sick and tired of people saying, I haven't played Skyward Sword because I didn't like the motion controls. Okay, well, get it on Switch. You don't have to play with motion controls. But also, the motion controls weren't that bad. And arguably, that was some of the most fun I had in the entire game, was holding the Joy-Cons and swinging them around and trying to, like, rapid shake the Joy-Con and, like, slash stuff and do a shield bump. And, like, I just thought that was fun. And it got you a lot more involved in the game. Now, it felt like it was going to give me carpal tunnel by the time I was done, but listen, it was good. I like Skyward Sword. I think it's a great game. Ocarina of Time 3D. I'm trying not to rate this based on nostalgia, because Ocarina of Time 3D was the first Zelda game I played, and I think I've beaten it fully at least 3 times, I think. So there's a special place in my heart for Ocarina of Time. Okay, Ocarina of Time 3D. I can't put all of them in S tier. I can't. Okay, we're moving Breath of the Wild down. So now that we got that, Ocarina of Time 3D, first Zelda game I ever played, and great game, but it does have its pitfalls. I've tried to replay it since then, and I felt like I kept getting stuck, and maybe that's on me. Womp womp, I guess. That's on me for getting it stuck. But it still is a phenomenal game, and I think the time travel aspect is kind of neat, but I don't know. Outside of that, all I can say is it's good. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, B. Easy B. It's all right. I'm not a huge fan of the, like, time travel stuff that they do with the story. It's all right. But outside of that, I think it's pretty solid for what it is, being a Hyrule Warriors game. I'll never complain that we got, like, 3 games in this Breath of the Wild era. I think it was a fun little, like, story expansion, but outside of that, not much. A Link Between Worlds, I'm gonna put in B above Age of Calamity. It's another one that I played. Both of the 3DS Zelda games I've played are some of my favorites, just because I have a lot of nostalgia and experience with the 3DS, and I respect them on a different level because of how much I love them and how much nostalgia is associated with them. And I've beat Link Between Worlds twice, I believe. So that is really cool. Or no, I've beat it once. I got my times mixed up. I have it again, and I want to beat it again because I started playing through it again, and the 3DS was really uncomfortable. So I switched to Link's Awakening on Switch because that was the closest thing to, like, having it on Switch. So I do hope they bring over A Link Between Worlds at some point, just because it's such a fun game and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's Link Between Worlds. Cadence of Hyrule, I'll put it in C. It was a fun little, like, collaboration spin-off type thing, but also not my cup of tea, you know what I mean? So that's what I have to say about that. Four Swords, what I remember of it is it was really good, and I had fun with it, and I think the concept was cool, but I also don't remember it that much. So that's why it's going in C. Have I played Echoes of Wisdom yet? No. I don't own Echoes of Wisdom. It's on my Christmas list because I it didn't fit in the budget to buy Echoes of Wisdom because I was more excited for Mario and Luigi, and I was like, okay, I got to pick one of these two new Switch games. So I did Mario and Luigi, and I'm saving Echoes of Wisdom probably for next year, assuming I get it for Christmas. That's the plan, at least right now. Link's Awakening, D-tier. I hate that game. I never want to touch it again with a 10-foot pole. I hate it. It was so lame and boring, and no, I don't even want to talk about it. Twilight Princess, the game of the hour. Game of the hour, everyone. So I'm going to put it in A tier, but the question is where in A tier? And this all goes back to last weekend's stream. The 6-hour one, the really long one that the VOD got split up in 2 parts on the VOD channel. This would be like above Ocarina of Time if the City in the Sky didn't exist. That dungeon is dragging down the whole game because I had never been so frustrated getting off of a stream because the whole thing was like the most aimless, pointless, directionless dungeon of all time. And it doesn't help that I was already tired and the stream had been going on for 6 hours, right? But it was just so frustrating. So outside of that, though, let me talk about the positives. Actually, one more negative. I don't love playing as Wolf Link. I think that was another aspect that I didn't enjoy, specifically because Wolf Link was very hard to control, and I don't know if that's something that persisted in the Wii version and the GameCube version, but at least in the Wii U version that I played, it was very hard to control, and that kind of dragged down all of the Wolf Link sections, and those were my least favorite parts of the game. So aside from that, though, the positives, I really enjoyed most of the items. I think the items were really cool. I liked the iron boots and how that worked in that dungeon where you could magnetize to the certain objects, and then the double hook shot, like I said earlier, was definitely my favorite. And what else? Getting the Master Sword was cool. I really enjoyed that. My favorite dungeon was probably Arbiter's Grounds, because the spinning wheel was fun. I really love that final boss. I think that boss is great. My favorite boss probably goes to, I don't know, Stalford wasn't my favorite. I like the music in that one because it ties back into Ocarina of Time with the Volvagia theme. Favorite boss, probably, I don't want to say Ganondorf because I don't think that's my favorite. I'm trying to think what all the bosses were, because there was the one in the first temple with the monkey where you gotta like catch the bombs and throw it. It was like the big piranha plant thing. And then there was, what was the second one? What was the boss in the second one? Because it required you using the electromagnet. Okay, hold on. We're just gonna look up Twilight Princess bosses. That's not how you spell that. Bosses. Okay. Okay, those are middle bosses. That's not what I wanted. Bosses. Okay. Oh yeah, that guy. Okay. So my favorite, honestly, might be this one. Just because I got to smash the spider with the statue. You get to like possess the statue and then smash this spider. I just think that's so funny and so much fun. So I will take that as my favorite boss. So yeah, Twilight Princess goes low A. This is my tier list. I will update this once I add Wind Waker, and I finished that because that'll be another one on the list. And then Echoes of Wisdom when I finish that. I do really need to finish Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition because I think that's the only one on Switch that I haven't finished yet. So I need to finish that, and then Echoes of Wisdom I haven't finished yet. I might do a playthrough of Majora's Mask on Switch Online because I've never played Majora's Mask. So that's another one I haven't played. And then there's some of the like DS and GameCube ones, or not GameCube, Game Boy ones that I haven't played. So